there and happy holidays. It's another time of the week for the program, The Power Circuit, from the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. The management and staff of this public power utility company work daily to transmit bulk electricity while managing the national power grid. Today's episode promises to be enlightening. Here is a highlight of the top stories. Federal government trains 500 Taraba youths on skills under the Mambila hydropower project. Acting TCN head chairs 15th General Assembly of the West African Power Pool in Lome. TCN trains staff on service level agreement in Benin region. There is also a spotlight on the Minister of Power, Engineer Saleh Maman, in a special message for Nigerians on the outlook for the power sector in 2021. Be here with us as these reports unfold. I am Amara Agogoisi. The federal government has commenced a training scheme to empower 500 youths in Taraba State with requisite skills under the Mambila hydroelectric power project.
The Minister of Power, Engineer Saleh Maman, who launched the Youth Empowerment and Skills Acquisition Training for the 500 youths of Jalingo, the Taraba State capital, said it was local content initiative. Maman said the program was a collaboration of the Federal Ministry of Power and the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, NAPTIN, to enable you to take part in the Mambila hydropower projects.
You may recall that we were here on the 19th of October 2020 for the flag of the sensitization of the host community for the Mambila hydroelectric power project, which was aimed at providing the host community and the stakeholders the desired information to stimulate their support as we move to the next level of the project implementation stage. That is, the survey of the project site, which has now commenced in earnest and will pave the way for enumeration and the payments of compensation. During the block of ceremony of the sensitization exercise, I did inform the stakeholders that arrangements were on the way for the establishment of the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria Center in Gembu in order to cater for manpower development initiative to adequately prepare the people of Mambila Plateau and Taraba State in general to drive maximum benefits of the hydropower projects.
Engineer Maman lauded President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to youth empowerment programs and said that the program was designed to train and empower 500 youths from each state of the Federation, beginning with Taraba.
In line with President Muhammadu Buhari GCFR Commitment to Youth Empowerment Program, the Federal Ministry of Power, in collaboration with NAPTIN, has developed appropriate curriculum and the modalities for the commencement of the ESET programs designed to train and empower 500 youth from each state of the Federation, starting with Taraba State, under the Mambila hydroelectric power projects local contents initiative. This is part of Mr. President's strategy vision to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. The training shall be under the 5 core courses, namely electrical house wiring, number 2 ICT essential, number 3 catering management, and number 4 mastering and bricklaying, and lastly the plumbing pipe fitting for plants and buildings.
The minister noted that interested youths should apply online through the NAPTIN web portal, which is open for 3 weeks starting January 2021 to enroll for their courses of choice.
The training shall be carried out in 4 batches of 125 participants each, while the selection into the 4 batches of training will be based strictly on merit and distributed amongst the local government area of the state. Applications process will be done online via NAPTIN web portal, which shall be open for 3 weeks for application. While the criteria for each training program will be set out in the portal to enable prospective participants select the course of their choice. The applicants for the ESSEC program can complete the application form at NAPTEP website, www.naptepportal.com.
Governor Darius Ishaku of Taraba State, in his goodwill message, represented by the Deputy Governor Alhaji Haruna Manu, commended the President for his commitment to the implementation of the 3,050 megawatt hydroelectric power projects. He described the training as well significant to human capital development in readiness for the host community to benefit from the gigantic electricity projects.
I am sure the knowledge and skills in basic power training will give you the confidence to fit into any organization you find yourself and be self-dependent. I also appeal for the patronage of our local contractors in the supply of less sophisticated inputs where necessary.
Director General of NAPTIN, Engineer Ahmed Nagode, said the federal government was living up to its promises of building skills for youths in the host communities of the Mambila Hydro project.
It will be recalled that on Monday, the 19th of October 2020, during the sensitization of Mambila Hydroelectric Power Project here in Jalingo, my boss, the Honorable Minister of Power, informed stakeholders that NAPTIN would commend the training of youth in Taraba State with adequate and relevant skill that will empower and make them employable in the Mambila Hydroelectric Power Project, and also to be self-employed towards entrepreneurship.
Chairman of the Host Community Development Association, Mr. Boboy Kaigama, assured of the cooperation and support of the Sadauna and Kurume local government areas, host of the Mambila Power Project, to ensure its success.
The West African Power Pool WAP has held its 15th session of the General Assembly, chaired by the new WAP chairman and acting managing director CEO of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz. Here are the proceedings of the week-long event.
The 15th session of WAP General Assembly was hosted in Lomé, the Republic of Togo, by the CEET, headed by the Chief Executive Officer, Larry Santiago. The co-host is CEB, Electricity Community of Benin Republic, headed by Mr. Karimo Shabi Sika. This year's General Assembly has a theme, building resilience against the effects of COVID-19 while advancing the realization of the WAP regional electricity markets. The event held coincidentally with its 21st anniversary as WAP was established on December 10, 1999. During the 22nd session of the Conference of ECOWAS Heads of States and Government held in Lomé. As part of the 15th session of the WAP General Assembly, the pool also held its 48th Executive Board meeting. The Executive Board has 15 members, which has 11 permanent members, 3 rotating members, and an honorary member. The board meeting was held before the Donors Coordination meeting and the WAP General Assembly. Delivering his welcome address, the WAP chairman, Engineer Abdulaziz, commended the development partners for their commitment towards accelerating the energy requirements of the West African region.
I cannot proceed without extending our thanks to our development partners for making time in their extremely busy schedules at this time of the year to take part in the coordination meeting and the General Assembly. We acknowledge with great satisfaction the support that you are providing to the energy sector of ECOWAS member states, and in particular for your respective interventions toward the various endeavors of the WAP since it was created in 1999.
Engineer Abdulaziz noted that the power sector, as the engine of every economy, has been significantly impacted by the ongoing global COVID-19 pandemic. Engineer Abdulaziz, however, commended the high level of work accomplished by WAP in spite of the pandemic.
Globally, the health crisis has had wide-ranging effects on key social economic development sectors, including the energy sector. The various lockdowns instituted by several countries in a bid to curb the crisis affecting manufacturing, and as such, significant delays were incurred in the delivery of equipment for power projects.
With the pandemic's effects on the electricity supply and demand in the region's power sector value chain and the already existing liquidity crisis, he charged the members of the board on deploying strategic options to assist utilities bearing the brunt of the pandemic's negative consequences.
The restrictions in movement also resulted in reduced income for population that in turn affected their ability to make timely payments for electricity consumption, thereby further distressing the financial situations of our utilities. All of these factors shall in fact roll out of priority projects and in consequences the regional electricity market, as well as render more challenging the active participation of the utilities in the activities of WAP. It is therefore more opportune than ever for the relationship between the WAP and its partners to be reinforced in order to collectively face the challenges ahead, effectively recover from the downturn caused by this pandemic, and build resilience.
He said the meeting was to strengthen actions towards sustaining the implementation of the critical energy projects being executed by the WAP Secretariat in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. Giving the activity report of WAP for the period of January to December 2020, the Secretary General of WAP, Mr. Polonius Egil-Key, said despite the negative impact of the pandemic, WAP has continued to make giant strides towards the implementation of a competitive regional electricity market. He also said the WAP membership had increased to 36 member utilities with one observer. The Secretary General also updated the members on the status of the implementation of the various projects handled by the WAP Secretariat. They include the 330 kV WAP North Core interconnection projects linking Nigeria to Niger, Benin, Togo, and Burkina Faso. The 330 kV median core interconnection projects that will connect Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire, among others. A General Assembly function was held to crown the 5-day event. Declaring the program open, President of the Republic of Togo, His Excellency Faure Gnassingbé, represented by the Minister in charge of Energy and Mines, Madame Mawunyo Aziabo, conveyed the greetings of the people of Togo to the WAP member countries and participants. The Minister charged WAP towards more commitment to ensuring that regional access to electricity and the regional electricity market is realized. The Minister commended WAP member utilities, technical and financial partners, as well as the economic community of West African states, ECOWAS, headed by its president, Jean-Claude Cassé-Brou, for their persistence in establishing the regional electricity markets. Addressing the Assembly, the Commissioner of Energy and Mines of ECOWAS, Mr. Sediko Daouka, said WAP has done well in project execution, adding that the pool has displayed will and courage over the years, which has engendered progress. In his address at the General Assembly session, the WAP chairman and acting MD of TCN, Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, further commended the country for hosting the event, as well as the Secretariat staff for working remotely and relentlessly despite the pandemic.
Accepting to hold this session of the WAP General Assembly demonstrates the commitment of the government and people of Togo to the vision of our founding fathers and the confidence that together we can alleviate the poverty level of the ECOWAS people. Permit me to express my profound gratitude to the government and people of Togo, particularly the President, His Excellency President Faure Gnassingbé, the host utilities, CEB and CET, for their support to WAP, and excellent African hospitality provided for the participants. I have no doubt, therefore, that with the political will of the ECOWAS countries, we can continue to sustain the existing momentum towards achieving the regional vision in spite of the COVID-19.
The WAP chairman further said the pool was committed towards ensuring there is a boost in regional energy integration.
WAP, with the support of its technical and financial partners, have put in place the measures aimed at facilitating the implementation, transverse corrective action, such as knowledge sharing and coordination between national development plans and regional ambitions, skill transfer, capacity reinforcement of member utility staff and management.
The power circuit continues after this break.
Did you know that our high-tension transmission cables were built to withstand high temperatures except artificially induced ones such as fire? Did you know that burning bush or refuse dumps by TCN transmission tower base or along the transmission line's right-of-way is an offense? Did you know that the fire can cause high-tension transmission lines to snap and fall to the ground, electrocuting living things within the line radius? Did you know that extreme fire can cause the legs of transmission towers to buckle, and that buckling of the main frame of a tower would lead to its collapse and may even pull down other towers along that transmission line's route, causing untold damage to the line? Now that you know. Yes, now that you know, TCN is calling on all citizens of Nigeria to please desist from destroying our collective national investments. Be careful, do not set fire on trash or burn bush beside transmission towers or under electricity lines nationwide. Help us preserve the transmission grid and save the nation from blackout. TCN, transmitting electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
Delivering quality service is what the TCN hopes to sustain, and this is to be further promoted as it trains its staff across the region on the Service Level Agreement, a new benchmark document developed to improve services in the power sector.
The Service Level Agreement SLA was initiated by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC) that will be binding on TCN and the 11 power distribution companies, DISCOs. The TCN management had commissioned the region-wide training on the Service Level Agreement SLA to prepare staff ahead of the new dispensation. The training has been conducted in Osogbo, Lagos, Abuja, and Bauchi regions. The recent one was at the Benin region of TCN. In his opening remarks, the Regional Transmission Manager Benin region of TCN, Engineer Isaac Okpe, commended the management of TCN for sending facilitators from the TCN headquarters in Abuja.
I want to appreciate the TCN management for thinking it wise to send this information down the line by going from one region to another. And in the Benin region, we appreciate your coming, the representative of TCN management. And the ultimate aim is to have a regular and quality power supply to our customers. And in doing that, we have to, that is in life, there's always room for improvement. So by this SLA is a modus of improving on our attitude to work, how we handle issues, and most importantly, the essence of the work has to be quantified in terms of Naira and Kobo. So for us to quantify Naira and Kobo, we have to keep data and accurate data. And that is why this seminar is very, very important and very, very essential. And those of us who are participants, I want to join you. It's a rare privilege. So ask all the questions, understand all understandable. So by the time they are gone, you are really equipped to make sure that we are up to date and living up to expectation.
The Regional Operations Manager Benin Region, Engineer Wasiu Tijani, assured that staff under the region were ready to be immersed in the processes of the initiative.
As we are here in the Benin region, we are ready to be part of whatever activities we are doing. You can see we have all our men, because we are being logical in the way we choose people, that because all the people you see here that are here, they are the one handling the data for us at different level of interface. And we believe they are going to be it's going to be a train the trainers event, because whatever they got from this seminar, they are going to send it out to some other, because what we are going to do is that they will go to each substation and let them know all these things.
The Assistant General Manager Regulations, Compliance and Market Development of TCN, Mr. Ali Bukar Ahmed, in a presentation to the trainees, explained that the training was apt for improving services in the electricity markets.
It is actually a performance improvement agreement that was signed between Transmission Company of Nigeria and then all the distribution companies. It may interest you to know that at the end of every month, the federal government has to intervene because there are a lot of wastages and leakages. The transmission, distribution, and generation sectors in Nigeria electricity supply industry are all culprit. We are all guilty of these wastages and leakages of electricity in the value chain. So, but the interface between the generation and the transmission is a little bit better. It has been taken care of. Where the problem is more is with the interface between the transmission and the distribution company, because that is a downstream. That is where money is being paid back into the system.
Addressing the press on the sideline of the training, Mr. Ahmed said the initiative was a way of advancing the electricity markets.
We all agree, the TCN and all the distribution companies of Nigeria agree that there is always room for improvement. And then we went back and looked at our losses, the interface between the transmission company of Nigeria and all the 11 distribution companies of Nigeria. And we told ourselves that there is need for improvement and we have to improve to deliver more qualitative services to the end users of electricity distribution. Even electricity transmission consumers and electricity distribution consumers are all involved in the service level agreement. So we agree that we are going to improve our performance. We are going to improve the quality of service we are giving to all customers in Nigeria, and that is the central message of the service level agreement.
Participants at the training expressed their views about the training. Engineer Mahmoud Olawale of the Omoto Show Area Control Center in Benin region of TCN.
I have benefited so much as the information about the service level agreement brought down to us, so that as stakeholders we'll be able to know the implication of every step we are taking while in our respective locations as far as the agreement is concerned. So we know the implication on the company and on the services that we provide to our customers, the distribution companies.
It's an eye-opener, ensuring our responsibility as the custodians of the grid and the loopholes we need to cover up, and then the legality that comes with it. And then we're here to serve the best interest of Nigeria and all that. So it's an eye-opener.
We are trying to have a supply that is robust, sustainable, affordable, and then constant power supply. And we hope to achieve that the year 2021. I want to wish the power sector Happy New Year, and I want to assure Nigerians that we are going to increase our capacity of supply comes 2021.
Thank you for your time out with the Power Circuit program today. You can view this episode and others on the TCN YouTube channel. Please interact with us on these platforms because TCN always takes your feedback seriously to deliver on its mandate. The coronavirus is real. Please keep observing the safety protocols stipulated by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, to stay safe, especially in this festive period. I am Amara Agugesi, and welcome to a new year.